Hey everyone, welcome back to another creepy episode. You guys seriously show up every time for these nightmare-fueled tales, and tonight, I've got something perfect for the season. 3 true horror stories that all happened on warm, quiet summer nights when everything feels normal, until it doesn't. Whether it's a strange figure standing by the road, a voice that shouldn't be there, or a gas station that shouldn't exist, these stories are going to stick with you. If you've ever been out late during summer and felt like the darkness was watching, you're not alone. So get comfortable, throw on those headphones, and let's get into it. The Thing in the Cornfield. It was late July, that kind of night where the air sticks to your skin and the cicadas just won't shut up. Me and my cousin Tyler had gone to see a midnight showing of Hereditary at this small theater in Lincoln, Nebraska. We weren't really supposed to be out that late, especially not driving back that far after midnight, but Tyler convinced me. He had this idea that he knew a shortcut. Said it'd shave off 20 minutes if we cut through the old county roads near Waverly. Back roads, middle of nowhere, cornfields for miles. At first, it was chill. We had the windows down, radio low, just vibing in that late summer stillness. But as we got deeper into the rural roads, the houses disappeared, and the fields just kept getting taller. No street lights, no signs, just dirt road, cornfields, and stars. I remember looking at the clock, 1:43 a.m., and that's when it happened. Out of nowhere, something darted across the road in front of us, fast, real fast. But it wasn't a deer. Too low to the ground, too weird. Tyler slammed the brakes. The car skidded a little on the dirt. We both just froze. "What the hell was that?" I whispered. Tyler didn't answer. He was staring at the corn on the right side of the road. It was swaying, like something had just pushed through it. We sat there in silence until we heard it. This low, dragging sound, like something heavy, wet, being pulled across the ground, and then breathing, I swear to God. Right outside Tyler's window, we heard breathing. It was deep, ragged, wrong. He cracked the window just a bit. I don't know why he did that, but I'll never forget what came next. Something spoke, not words, more like mimicry. It sounded like it was trying to say Tyler's name. But it was all messed up, like a broken voice recorder. That's when we heard the snap. The side mirror. Gone. Something ripped it clean off. Tyler screamed and floored it. The tires kicked up dirt as we tore down that road, not looking back. We didn't stop until we hit the gas station on 84th Street. We got out of the car, both of us shaking, and on the passenger side door, there were handprints, long, smeared, muddy handprints, with fingers that were too long. Way too long. But that wasn't the worst part. Under the door handle, there were scratch marks, 3 deep gouges, like claws. We went straight home. Didn't talk for days after that. Tyler still swears it was just some animal, but I know better. There's something in those fields, and it knew his name. Our second story, The Man Behind the Guardrail. It was early August, that weird point in the summer where the nights start to feel just a little too quiet. I was driving alone through the Blue Ridge Mountains, somewhere along the parkway near Asheville, North Carolina. The sun had gone down over an hour ago, and there were no other cars on the road. Just the sound of my tires on the pavement and the occasional owl calling off in the trees. I remember passing one of those old scenic overlook pull-offs. You know, the ones with the wooden railing and a tiny trash bin. I barely noticed it, but something caught my eye just past it. A person standing behind the guardrail. I slowed down instinctively. It was a man, just standing there, facing the trees, not moving. At first, I thought he might have been a hiker who got lost or maybe broke down, but he wasn't doing anything, just standing completely still. No phone, no flashlight, no backpack. And here's the weirdest part. He was wearing all black. long sleeves, dark pants, in the middle of a hot summer night. As I passed him, I leaned a bit to try and get a better look. And right then, his head turned, not his body, just his head, slowly, toward me. His eyes caught my headlights, and I swear to God, they reflected back like an animal's. For a second, he smiled, but it wasn't a normal smile. It stretched too far, like his face didn't have bones behind it. I punched the gas, didn't look back. After a mile or so, I started thinking maybe I was just tired. Maybe it was a trick of the light. But then, I came around a sharp bend, and up ahead, there he was. Same man, same clothes, same face, standing behind another guardrail. Miles from the last one. There was no way he got there that fast. No cars, no paths through the trees, nothing. He didn't wave, didn't move, just tilted his head, like he was watching me. I kept driving. For the next 20 minutes, I kept seeing him. At every other bend in the road, behind every other guardrail, just standing, always watching. I didn't stop until I reached the next town, pulled into a 24-hour diner, ran inside, and sat there until the sun came up. I've never taken that stretch of the parkway again, and I never drive alone at night in the mountains anymore, because whatever that thing was, it knew where I was going. Our third story, The Voices in the Parking Lot. It was around 2:10 a.m., middle of a summer night in Flagstaff, Arizona. I had just gotten off a long shift at work. I was dead tired, hadn't eaten since lunch, so I swung by this 24-hour grocery store on the edge of town. The place was completely dead. Only 2 other cars in the parking lot, one parked way off in the corner, engine off, no lights. The other was probably the night manager's. I parked under the only working lamp near the front doors. I didn't want to be out there in the dark longer than I had to. Inside, it was quiet, that kind of eerie quiet where you feel like you're the only one in the whole building. Just the hum of the fridges and the dull squeak of my cart wheels. I grabbed some frozen dinners, a drink, and a bag of chips. Paid with cash. Didn't say much to the tired guy behind the counter. When I came back outside, that car in the far corner was gone. Didn't think much of it at first, until I started walking to my car and heard a voice, a woman's voice, very soft. Hey, excuse me. Hey, like someone trying to get your attention without alarming you. I stopped, looked around. No one. Just empty cars, hot pavement, and that flickering lamp overhead. I turned back to my car, hit the unlock button, and I heard it again. Hey, sir, can you help me? It was coming from my right, from behind the row of carts. I turned. No one was there. Then I saw it, a figure crouched low, too low, half hidden behind the carts. I couldn't make out a face, but the voice kept talking, more frantic now. Please, I lost my phone. Can you come here for a second? Something felt off, like the tone didn't match the words. There was no panic, no fear, just urgency, like someone acting like they were in trouble. I didn't move. I just stood there staring. That's when I saw it shift. The figure stood up. And it wasn't a woman, it was tall, too tall. Its limbs moved like they were on strings, like a puppet learning how to walk. And then it said something I will never forget, in my voice. Hey, can you come here for a second? Exactly like I talk. Same tone, same rhythm. I dropped my bag, ran to the car, jumped in, locked the doors, and peeled out of there so fast I almost clipped a curb. When I got home, I couldn't sleep. Not because I was scared, but because I kept thinking, how did it get my voice? I didn't tell anyone for months. But I did go back once, during the day, just to see. That spot behind the carts? There's a security camera right above it. I asked the manager if I could see the footage from that night. He said the camera had stopped recording right around 2:08 a.m. Corrupted file. No footage. No explanation. Just static. I don't shop there anymore. This is today's bonus story, the gas station that wasn't there. It happened during the summer of 2018. I was driving alone through Rufus, Texas, heading back to my hometown from San Antonio. It was a long, dry, late-night trip, over 4 hours of empty roads and heat waves rising off the pavement, even after midnight. Around 2:30 a.m., I noticed I was almost out of gas. The next station on GPS was 30 miles out, but I knew I wouldn't make it that far. That's when I saw it. A glowing sign off to the right, maybe half a mile up. Texaco, an old-school gas station, looked like it hadn't been updated since the 90s, but it was lit and open. I pulled in. The lot was cracked and covered in weeds. No other cars. No sound except the hum of the overhead lights and a bug zapper popping in the corner of the lot. I got out, pumped my gas. Card reader worked fine. Then I figured I'd go inside and grab a cold drink. As soon as I stepped in, something felt off. The air inside was still. No music, no buzzing fridge, no humming lights, just dead silence. Behind the counter stood this old man, mid-70s, pale, thin, wearing a tan shirt and a red vest. He didn't say anything, didn't even move, just stared. I grabbed a bottle of water and walked to the register. He slowly rang it up, without a word. When I handed him the cash, I noticed something strange. His hands, his fingernails were completely black, not like dirty, like rotted. And then he spoke. "You ought to get moving. They don't like when people linger." I just blinked. "Sorry?" I asked. He didn't answer, just looked past me. I turned around. No one was there. I left in a hurry, got in my car, pulled out of the lot, and drove without stopping for the next hour. Eventually, I hit a real town. Gas station, lights, other people. I pulled over to catch my breath and told the clerk what had just happened. Mentioned the Texaco off Route 6. He stared at me for a long second, then shook his head. "There ain't been a Texaco on Route 6 since '98. Burned down in a lightning fire. Old man who ran it died inside." I felt sick. Thought maybe it was just a prank or I mixed up the road. So the next day, in broad daylight, I drove back, tried to find that station. There was nothing, just a crumbled foundation, overgrown with weeds, no pumps, no sign, no store. But my car, it still had a receipt in the center console. Texaco, $15.34, 2:42 a.m. I don't drive that way anymore. And if you're ever desperate enough to stop at a gas station that seems out of place, keep driving, no matter what.